today. From Soldier Field in Chicago, it's Week 14 of the NFL on EA Sports. It's the Chicago Bears taking on the Washington football team.
Now, the good news is that the winds aren't as violent as they were yesterday in Chicago, but it's still pretty darn cold. To be expected, I guess, for December football at Soldier Field. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Washington football team and the Chicago Bears. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you look at this Bears team entering play. It's late in the year. We all know it. We've seen the calendar for these guys. Their bodies could probably use a break, but they have to push on.
And they're really not as worried about that as maybe we think. They know they've got the entire offseason to rest. All they care about is the game in front of them and finishing strong.
Meanwhile, for visiting Washington, they're hitting their stride of late. Winners of 3 of their last 4.
And the way they played last week defensively, you look at the tape, it looks like they had extra guys on the field, and they thoroughly shut down that offense.
So out comes the Washington offense onto the field. They'll be led out by their quarterback, standing 6'1" from Utah. It's Tyler Huntley.
And despite the 3 touchdown passes he threw, there's a lot to work on this week, wasn't there?
Oh, ton of interception.
Yeah, I mean, when you're going really with almost a 1-to-1 ratio, that's not going to work for you well at all. Not over the long haul. The beauty, though, somehow found a way to win.
Yeah, they still got the win last week. And this will go as a gain of 7 as he gets it to the 30-yard line.
Brought down.
The numbers for him from a week ago. And Charles, how do you think he ran the football?
I thought he definitely had his moments. I did think that they could have utilized him a little bit better, and I'm definitely going to keep an eye on him to see how they're going to use him this week.
So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10.
Well, things are looking pretty darn good on this first drive, aren't they? Came right out, set the tone, this time with a big pass play.
And if the peek behind the curtain that they gave us or their game plan today, I don't think that's going to be the last one we see.
I think you're exactly right about that.
His big tight end, Tyler Eifert, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up 2nd down. From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. And once again, he's going to be stopped up behind the line. 2nd straight play. Shades of the 85 Bear defense a little bit. But when this ball's tipped and intercepted. Picked off inside the 10. And the return will stop them well inside their own 20 at the 15-yard line.
Intercepted. The Bears take over 1st and 10.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. Operating from the gun, Clements. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. Allen Robinson, the intended receiver. And it's 2nd down.
Clinton Dix on the coverage.
To throw again, Clements. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there. Yeah,
I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
47 is the mic. 47 is the mic.
From the gun, Clements staying on his feet. Forced out to his... And a loose football. And does Washington have it? They do.
The quarterback keeps it.
We know he's got the speed to get downfield, Charles, but there's the negative side. A little loose with the football that time.
And that's normal, especially when you have his type of talents, because you feel like you're into the open field, and maybe you don't feel the people who are around you or closing in. All quarterbacks have to do extra ball security drills with the way the game's played now, because defenses, they attack the football as much as they attack the runner.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Well, starting drive number 2 off on the right foot. Completion for the 1st down. Drive 1 is they had to be pretty frustrating because they moved the football. They just didn't get any points out of it.
But warm-up QB2, let's bring in the backup. I mean, my goodness, you take them downfield and you don't score points. You know I'm being totally facetious here, right? I'm just kidding. Nice first drive. Rarely do teams score on every single drive in a game, but they like what they did there. They just hope they can pay it off this time with some points.
That would throw here to his running back. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. We'll check on his status when we get back. 2nd down pass play got him 8 yards. Now they've got a 3rd and a couple remaining. Huntley to throw. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Washington.
Touchdown, Washington.
From 17 yards out. And Washington has taken a first-quarter lead.
I know these wide receivers are about flash and dash and high-flying plays, but a good number of them played running back at some point in their career, and that's how they finish off a lot of their big plays, run after the catch.
And this time he finishes off the big play in the end zone. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Fielded in the end zone. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback.
1st and 10. At their own 25.
Chicago works their way back onto the field here for their 2nd drive of the game. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
And he cannot avoid the pressure as the Washington pass rush gets home. Von Miller in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. He probably feels like he cannot get a break. He was sacked 7 times last week. And here we go again in the first quarter.
And we always talk about the internal clock of a quarterback in the pocket and how he has to have a real keen sense of it in order to get rid of the football. After being sacked 7 times last week.
And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line, it's a sack. Montez Sweat in there yet again. What else is new? He continues to rewrite the record book in single-season sacks. Facing the prospect of a punt from their own end zone, they need some cushion. Let's see what they can do on 3rd down. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And they'll get him down here at the 23. A big pickup, 18 yards, but they still stop him well short of the marker.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
Yeah, last week in the loss, 5 punts as he gets this one away. That'll be a 44-yard boot, just a yard on the return as he's covered up quickly.
And it will be Washington football now with a 1st and 10.
Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10. Operating from the gun, Huntley. He's going to rifle, and that's caught inside the 35. And he is brought down, but not before reaching the 30. A big pickup of 38.
Not sure much more could have been done there defensively. One up with him, tried to knock it away, tried to get an arm in, unsuccessfully.
So the big play has him all the way down to the 30 now for 1st and 10. From the gun, Huntley escaping the pressure right. And he just gets rid of it, throws it away. The wise move there, looked like nobody open, now 2nd down.
So much for the best laid plans and best designed plays. That was good coverage along the sidelines. No place for that one to get in there. It sails incomplete.
On 2nd down now, Kendrick. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. A gain of 13. It's a 1st down. He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious, said he wants to hit that 200 mark. We'll see.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it? Have we ever run into a running back that had a great game the week before that didn't think that's just going to naturally continue? Just make sure you feed me the football. And that's what they're all about. Continuity, rhythm, number of carries. Just keep giving it to them.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. And they'll try to run the option here.
And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. 6 yards there on the keeper. It's 2nd down.
The tackle made at the 12.
From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. And a pickup of about 4 down inside the 10 to the 8-yard line.
That's a gain of 4. Brings up 3rd and inches.
From the gun on 3rd down, Huntley. And he is into the end zone for a Washington touchdown. A great effort there. Hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season.
And Washington is able to stretch their lead.
And he's able to put it through.
Makes this Washington.
CD, it seemed like they were so focused on the guys out wide, they forgot about him out of the backfield.
That's a really good point because you got to communicate, and oftentimes when you start counting receivers, that's exactly what you do. You start from the widest receiver, work your way inside. Who gets lost sometimes? The back in the backfield. That's exactly what happened there.
And he got into the end zone. Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. And the results for them have not been strong to this point. 2 drives have ended in a turnover and then a punt.
So would it be too snarky for me to say that they've shown improvement? Because you had two drives with turnovers. Now they punted it away, so at least they didn't turn it over. That's good, right?
You're going to get some angry users reaching out to you on social media.
Well, I don't mean to be. I was actually looking for the positive. Silver lining, you know.
A good rally to the football keeps him to only a yard, and it's 2nd down. The numbers in last week's ball game for Robinson. 3 catches, 61 yards.
And he's able to pull that last pass in, but this is usually a pretty tough unit to try and maneuver against. They're the top 10 in the league against the pass, and you and I both know there's not much difference between 1 and 10.
And he's upended at the 33, following a good pickup of 8. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
That's a gain of 8. Brings up 3rd and 2.
They'll try and pick it up on the ground with Wilson. And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. Here comes the Bears punter now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. $14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports.
14. Bears nothing.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense.
They are just putting things together so well here, drive after drive. They really have captured the momentum, haven't they?
They've taken momentum and pretty much not just give him a jersey, but a seat on the bench as well. Whatever do you need, you've got it, because the way they're stringing things together and creating that distance between them and their opponent, it's really hard to narrow that gap. And the other part is they're taking their spirit away from them, too.
Yeah, now they're just looking to add to that total. And that is incomplete.
Well, the first two drives yielded touchdowns, so there's no reason for them to feel like they have to pull back on the reins. They pushed it downfield, looking for another one right there. Didn't get it, but we know they're going to continue to be bold.
Now a hit and a loose football. And it's Washington that scoops it up. And he gets it back into the end zone. It's a fumble recovery leading to a Washington touchdown.
The previous play is under review.
So we've got a challenge.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. And all the way down to the 26. For an offense that has not found the end zone yet, that's a big play.
There's the spark right there. The big play that they needed. Now they've got to go ahead and finish this drive and put this ball in the end zone.
And he's going to take this one down to about the 23-yard line. They had the huge play last time. Here it is a much smaller gain of 2. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
At the 23-yard line.
Operating from the gun. Clements. Nowhere to turn this time, and he goes down. Sacked back at the 29. Montez Sweat picks up his second sack of the afternoon. The Bears on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 14. From the gun, Clements, and he's going to go down again. Montez Sweat able to disrupt yet another pass play. That is his 3rd sack of the afternoon. And that sack certainly just strengthening his candidacy for Defensive Player of the Year. You think he's got that one in the bag yet?
I'm not willing to vote quite yet just because I want to wait until the season's over, but he is really tracking towards it. Just look at all the great plays we've seen from him throughout the season. Strength plays that you referenced there, as well as agility plays. Yeah. They just have not found a way to block him consistently.
Now they're set up nicely at the 45-yard line after the missed field goal from 55. Looking downfield for Godwin. This is caught inside the 15. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Washington.
Touchdown, Washington.
Chris Godwin, his 9th touchdown of the season. And Washington going to add on to their lead. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. The Bears offense making their way out as we give you a look at the playoff race in the NFC. And I tell you, 4 weeks still to go, and everything is wide open, and it's fun.
And I know we always talk about, well, if the playoffs were to begin today, and then we kind of go, okay, but they're not. Let's see how it plays out. Wouldn't it be fun to play with this playoff lineup right now? Because to me, just about anyone can win this whole thing out of this grouping we currently have. And by the time we get there, it may look entirely different.
They still need about the length of the football here, maybe a little less as they come up on 2nd and inches. Off play action. Clements got an open man. It's Valdez-Scantling. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
1st and 10 at the 42-yard line.
tackle made by Chase Young.
A nice play design there with the touch pass. Looked good at the start, but bottom line, the defense was ready.
And they did a nice job scouting, didn't they? Not just scouting, but now executing once they saw the play for real after having worked on it all week in practice. They drilled on the play, then they drilled him.
Now left side, a completion to his tight end. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. A short gain of just over 2 yards as the first half clock dips inside of 3 minutes. To throw on third down, Clements. That's complete to his running back, Wilson. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. They'll get only a yard out of that, and it'll bring up fourth down. Here comes the Bears punter now, as he'll come on to kick this one away. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. 8 yards on the return following a punt of 41. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Now we get another look at Washington on offense. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, let's see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. I mean, that's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass.
And got his man complete.
Huntley is pass.
And he's brought down after a very nice gain.
A gain of
33 yards that time.
First down, Washington.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete.
It certainly didn't appear that that's where he wanted to go with the ball initially, so he tried to get something out of it by dumping it off to his running back unsuccessfully.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Throwing again, Huntley. And this one's incomplete.
From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
So now 3rd and 10, a big play to start the drive, but nothing since. To throw, Huntley. Open man is Godwin. It's complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20.
A gain of 34 yards.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And he's not able to get away. Sacked back at the 22. Akeem Hicks at 6'5", 332 finds his way home. And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. And this is picked up by the Bears. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line.
They may have the edge on the scoreboard, but that hasn't made them passive, has it? I mean, they dialed up a pretty good run blitz there.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
So the challenge comes in inside of 2 minutes, and it gets overturned.
And it changes the whole format of what's about to happen because both sides had thought a certain call had been made. Now they have to flip back and start over.
A final shot before break. Huntley going to throw deep for the end zone. And that is caught. Touchdown, Washington. Chris Godwin as time expires in the first half. And Washington able to stretch that lead out even further. You knew time was going to run out, so this had to be in the end zone, and somehow they were able to find a window and get it done.
Very easy for us to talk about up here that, yes, all that had to happen, but when time's running down, sometimes...
There you have it. Halftime quickly over. Third quarter, here we go. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This taken in about 4 yards deep. And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25. at the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they?
Yeah, they're down big right now. So as you mentioned, trying to find something to string together, get some consistency, something sustained, maybe calm their whole team down and find a way to get back in this one.
Yeah, because right now you're down big, you're being shut out. Let's see if this is the drive that kind of kickstarts them. To throw on second down, Clements. That's complete to the tight end Sample. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get a good head of steam going.
And this will be a Bears first down as he'll get this up to about the 42. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
On third down, that's a good job of situational football and understanding where the first down marker was and getting there.
On first, they'll go back to Wilson. And a penalty flag down as he gets only about a yard. And let's listen in on the call.
Offense.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backward.
Still first down.
They'll run again with Wilson. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. A loss of 2 there. Second down.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
Looking to throw on second down. Clements open on the left side. This is Valdez-Scantling. And he gets this up to the 34 out of bounds there. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down. Operating from the gun. Clements. He'll find Aguara complete. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a fourth down.
Ran the perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
First possession of the second half now for Washington. The last time out, another touchdown, and I think there may be some empty seats around here by the time the fourth quarter comes around.
Yeah, I have to agree with you because this one's just about decided. But you know who benefits from all those empty seats? You and me, trying to get to the airport.
That's
the roads will be fairly clear
by
the time we have to leave the booth.
2 yards the loss, second and 12. They'll keep it on the ground. Kendrick. A nice job there as he rumbles for 9, and it'll be back to a 3rd and 3. And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry-up. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And, boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short.
It's now 4th down.
They're going to try and throw. Flush to his right. He can run for it, and he will. Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a first down.
Not sure I agreed with the decision to go for it, but I definitely agree with his decision to run it. He picked up that big first down. I think he let his head coach off the hook.
That's what I was just going to say. If there's anybody more happy than the quarterback picking it up, it's the coach that saw him pick it up. On first down, Kendrick. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 12 more yards there and another first down. They'll keep it on the ground. Kendrick. And this time the yards won't come so easy as they'll, in fact, tackle him behind the line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. Steps away. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. That one good for 26 and a first down.
We talk about mobility on quarterbacks all the time. Here's where it really pays off. Able to move, evade, and is accurate throwing on the run and picking up a first down.
And he'll get it down this time to the 17. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
On the pickup. 2nd and 6 at the Bears' 17-yard line.
On the RPO, that's complete right side. That one good for the completion percentage, but no gain. It'll be 3rd down.
And that's when it's fun to play defense. When you're able to diagnose a play right from the beginning, get all your guys to the football, and spill the play, that's when you have a lot of fun playing on that side of the ball.
And before they can run this 3rd down play, we're going to get a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. And they'll be in search of 6 yards here on 3rd down. This is now the 9th play of the drive.
Now an option play, and he'll keep it.
On 3rd down, Kendrick. And he is out of bounds, getting it down to the 10. They get the first. The decision to run on 3rd and medium winds up being a good one. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he is into the end zone for a Washington touchdown. A great play there with touchdown number 2 in the game and now 11 on the year as his guys continue to put this one out of reach.
And we know they won't get their names in the stat sheet, but the offensive line has to get all the credit for that touchdown run. Tremendous job of blocking, paving the way for the 6 points.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
Takes this about 5 yards deep. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25. The Chicago offense set to get started.
These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
And incomplete as he was knocked as he threw it, and it took the ball off course.
25-yard line.
Back to the air on 2nd down. Clements to Valdez-Scantling over the middle. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
A big play there on the catch and run. 58 yards. Took till the second half, but finally a red zone opportunity here. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 15. Back now at Soldier Field. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage.
Brought him down.
Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
2nd and 10 at the 14-yard line.
Again, they'll go ground with Montgomery. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
Allen on the tackle.
A 3rd down now. Those last 2 plays indicative of how things have gone for them. Just nowhere to go on the ground and struggling to put up points.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked by Kendall Fuller. And he's got daylight. It's a foot race.
And he will bring this one back. It is a pick 6 for a Washington touchdown.
That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them to the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
taken about 7 yards deep. And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback.
At their own 25-yard line.
And as this offense makes their way back out, NFC playoff race time, we give you a look at what's going on there.
It's now appearing that this losing streak is going to continue. You know, the coaching staff was confident that this was going to be the game to stem the tide, but that just has not been the case.
Throwing after the interception. Clements, quick hitter here, it's complete. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard. Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's second and a yard from the 34. Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. And out across midfield down to the 45.
That's good.
Yeah, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there, it's going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
On 1st and 10, Clements, middle of the field, it's Robinson.
Complete.
One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means they have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 9-yard line. 15-yard line. 23 yards the pickup there. That's now 4 completions in a row. A good bounce back following the interception last drive.
Certainly not letting it affect him, that's for sure. And we all know interceptions are going to happen. So the big trick, don't let it affect you going forward. Most of the good quarterbacks, they just tell the ball boy, get that one out of the rotation, give me a fresh ball, and let's go. He's got his offense moving again.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. To throw again. Clements. This will be caught at about the 6. And a pretty little juke move there on a nice gain. 9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be 3rd and less than a yard. The Bears on 3rd down. They've converted a third of their opportunities, 3 for 9. They're looking at 3rd and a few inches. And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. Josiah DeGuara, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Bears are able to make things a bit more respectable. So they will get on the scoreboard here. Give them credit for that. Too little, too late, but no 0. You're going slow clap on me.
Not very nice, is it?
No, but they haven't been very nice on offense. It's been a struggle. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. And after a sluggish start, he's really bounced back. The numbers bear that out.
And you're a baseball guy, partner. How many at-bats over the course of a baseball season?
Oh, boy, 4 in a game.
Yeah, about 4 in a game.
4 times 162.
350 or so, right? Sometimes it takes a while for a guy to get going. That's my point. It's not the first few carries. You don't worry about that. As they go along, get that guy lathered up, get those blocking assignments down. Those 2-yard gains turn into bigger gains as the game moves along.
And look at this. They come right back with a big shot downfield. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. 36 yards on the play. And incomplete. A drop there in the middle third of the field. That'll bring up 2nd down. They're still throwing the football here. Now, obviously, the incompletion stops the clock. That's a bad thing.
Feels to me like they're just keeping them honest on defense because you know they're going to stack the line of scrimmage and try and stop any type of a running play. Short little passes may work in exchange of running plays. Keep the clock moving, keep them moving.
I guess you're right. If they can get some first downs, just as good as running the football. In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense.
Here's Huntley.
And he finds a man on a crossing route. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Bears 19.
It's a first down Washington on a pickup of 18.
He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
Washington 45.
So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the fourth.
And you know, in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
This one fielded at the 5. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
10 at their own 26-yard line.
And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field.
We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game has played out. They trail big as we continue on now here in this fourth quarter.
And now the drive starts with a completion out to the right. They'll contain him to just 4. Second down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
The throw over the middle taken in. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Back to throw. Clements. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Josiah DeGuara, the intended receiver.
And that'll bring up second down.
Brings up 2nd and 10.
Throwing again. Clements. Toward the left sideline, but it's incomplete. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
And he's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a first down. They say he was out of bounds, so a big call there. That brings up 4th.
Love the idea, love the concept, but you got to leave a little room on the sideline so he can fade into it when he makes the catch. That was thrown too close to it for the receiver to make a play.
It'll be a 44-yard punt. The return goes for 8. And out will come the offense as they take over. A look at Washington as they come onto the field.
And this one has gone pretty well to form. They've come in, had little problem thus far, and now they'll try to polish things off in the fourth.
That one looks like he'll throw here. Oh, a strip. The ball comes out.
The fumble on first down. Now here's second down.
They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. No, bottled up. Fumble. It's out. It's loose.
Wow. That ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get them home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it.
The defense shaking their heads, not aggressive enough, and they allow him to convert a 3rd and 18. Continuing to keep their foot on the gas, and it looks like they're just having fun out there. They're loose, they're free, and they're enjoying what the scoreboard looks like.
I'd have to say I agree with you totally. They're having a blast out there all game long when they throw the football. They're picking up nice chunks of real estate, significant yardage on just about every throw that they make. And there's another one there, and they continue to have that fun that you just talked about.
Now Washington going to use the second of their 3 timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this fourth quarter of play. On third down, Huntley on the move to his left. And that will be incomplete.
That was an interesting look there because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them. And I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass downfield that fell incomplete.
So possession goes over here on the punt, and the Bears take over.
The Bears offense ready to get going again. Well, I think that the folks here had hoped that maybe this home atmosphere would carry their guys to a surprise victory. but it does not appear that that's going to be the case. There's too much to handle on the other side in this one. Now Washington going to go ahead and use their final timeout.
It'll be their third and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. This one to the right, caught by Valdez-Scantling. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 11 yards there, first down. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. That last pass puts him over 300 yards now in the game. More importantly, though, big first down here in OT.
And the team around him has a lot of confidence now after picking up that first down. Everyone seems a little more energized. But did I hear you before the game call in and say, this is my quarterback for your fantasy league? Because he just gave you a good stat, didn't he?
He did, and I appreciate it. So that's a wrap for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. And this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. With that, we say so long from Soldier Field.